Assalamu alaikum, back again with one more video on lesson 4.4, solving radical equations. So in this lesson inshallah we will have radical equation on one side, one radical equation basically. We will have what is it, fractional or rational exponents, and lastly we're gonna have two radicals or solving equations with two radicals. Let's see, it's just a quick lesson inshallah. So how can we solve radical equations? So the whole idea is you need to isolate your radical. So let's see. So first step is isolate the, by the way this is called a radical. A radical is just any root, not necessarily square root. How do we isolate it? Just act as if it's one term and you have addition of 2 and multiplication of 3. Obviously, common sense, you will cancel the addition of 2. So move the 2 to the other side. Now you have 3 root of a plus 1 equals to 11 minus 2 is 9. And now what do? Cancel the 3. Just divide by 3. Divide by 3. And you have the whole radical plus 1 equals 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now, you can't really touch what's inside the radical. So the one that is inside the radical, you cannot really touch it. You can't add it, subtract, or something. Don't do that. After you isolate your root, second step comes, which is cancel the root with a power. If it's a square root, cancel it with power of 2 both sides. If it's a cube root, cancel it with power of 3 and so on. So since there's no number, then that's a square root. So use power of 2 on both sides. Just take powers, just square both sides basically. So squaring a radical cancels out immediately. There is a reason behind it, but I don't have time here to explain. If you are interested in knowing why do they cancel each other, keep asking. So a plus 1 you have now. See, what's under the root now is free, and you can finally cancel out the 1. 3 squared is 9 again. Now, once you are done with cancelling the root, just solve for your variable. So in this case, my variable is a, so cancel the 1, take the 1 to the other side. You have now finally a equals 9 minus 1 is 8. So the steps are simple, very easy. It's such a good lesson, such a nice lesson. But obviously once you are done, guess what? Check. What are we gonna check? Yes, check extraneous solutions. Why? Because it was an easy lesson and we thought about how can we make it a bit, I'm joking. Alright, so these are the steps or things you need to follow while solving radicals. So how do we check extraneous solution? Just go on the side and take number 8 and plug it back in your equation. So you're gonna have, instead of a, just plug 8 plus 1, and there's a 2 outside the root. Check, is it equal to 11? So if you put this in your calculator, يا رب يطلع 11, hopefully. It's root of 8 plus 1, which is 9, plus 2. Yeah, it is 11. So yes, we got the same answer on both sides. So it's a real solution, no problem with that. If you got a math error or it's not equal to the other side, then it's an extraneous solution. So no extraneous solution here. Let's do the same thing, but for this example. So let me take the steps. Most probably we're gonna take these steps with us wherever we're gonna go. Oh. So let's do this. Fine. Again, how do we a second. By the way, please pause the video. Try to do the questions yourself. Don't wait for me to solve it. Just try to do it yourself. If you get it, skip to the next idea. Don't waste your time. Just practice better than just watching me. Anyways, so first step is isolate your root. Is my root isolated? Obviously no. I have a 2 added outside the root. So take the 2 to the other side. Now you have cube root of x equals 4 minus 2 is 2. And then once my root is isolated, cancel the root. How do you cancel it? Just take the same degree as a power on both sides. This power will cancel out the root. You're gonna end up with whatever was inside the root, which is only x, equals 2 cubed is 8. That's it. So we found the solution. Like, no need to do the last step, which is solving. Now lastly, just check extraneous solution. How do you check? So here on the side, by the way, you can check by yourself, you don't need to show us. So just do cube root of 8 plus 2. Is it gonna give me 4? Let's see. Put this in your calculator, you will get 4. So yes, it is 4. So that's a real solution. Okay, so let's see this question here. We have Derek is gliding on a clear day at an altitude of A feet. His visibility is V. It's 67.1 miles. Use the formula to find the A which he is gliding from. So the equation is V equals 1.225 root of A, and they said that the V is 67.1. So let's rewrite the equation. Yeah, now let's solve. Again, step number 1, isolate your root. That's the root. I have a number multiplied with the root. How do we cancel it? Divide. Very easy. Super simple. Now we have the root left equals, if you divide these, such a nice question, Saraha. Very easy question, super easy. I can't believe it. 1.225. So it's basically 54.77. Now what do I do to find the A? Or like next, the root is isolated. What do we do next? Cancel the root by squaring both sides because it's a square root. Square root will cancel out with the power of 2. So you're going to end up with only what's inside the root, which is A, equals to, this thing squared is 3000.35. That's the altitude. And by the way, this is in miles, no, in feet. How did I know? Because they said it in the question. Very easy. Such a nice question. Bas. So that's it. Let's do this question. I feel like this is a different idea that we can do. Let me take it here. So how do we do this question? By the way, I'm just trying to do direct questions. You can do word problem yourself. How do we do such a question? They want us to isolate x, so they want us to find x. How do we do that? Again, let's go back, bring our steps and use them. So step number 1, since I want to find this x, I need to think about the y as if it's a number. So step number 1, isolate your root. Already my root is isolated. I have nothing outside the root. Now next step, done. Next step is cancel the root by squaring. Just square both sides. So you're gonna end up with y squared equals, this root will get cancelled. So only, x minus 48 over 6. Now remember cross multiplication. If you don't like cross multiplication, no problem, it's okay, don't worry. I got you. Just cancel the 6 by multiplying by 6 both sides. Got it? Now you have, why did I cancel the 6 first, not the 48? Because the 48 is right away next to the x, but the 6 is a bit second step, so we always cancel the second step or the step far away, something like that. Anyways, so here you have 6y squared equals x minus 48, and then just cancel the 48, take it to the other side. It's gonna be positive 48. So you have x equals 6y squared plus 48, and this is it. That's the equation in terms of x. We have a y, miss, no problem, they don't care. Why would you care? طيب, now let's move to the next idea. Again, same problem. Let's do this question very quickly. The speed of a vehicle in relation to its stopping distance is represented with this equation. So vehicle speed is 3.57 root of the distance. What will be the equation? What is the equation for stopping distance in terms of vehicle speed? They want the equation of the d. So they want the d isolated. How do you do that? Normally just first isolate your root. So we need to cancel out this number. Divide by 3.51 both sides. Now you have root of d equals v over. Next, what do? Cancel the root by squaring both sides. D equals, when you square a term like this, just square each one separately. So v squared over 3.51 squared is 12.32. Around 12.34. That's it. So let's see, describe and correct the student error. Yeah, they didn't square this one. You can check the error yourself, but there's an error here. Let's do this question. This looks like a sort of a different idea. Let's try to do it ourselves. We know what's an extraneous solution. Thank you. Let's try to do this question again. Wait, I want my steps. So let's take the steps with us. We will use them for a while. So basically, we need to solve this equation. We have a root of 3x minus 2 equals to x minus 4. Let's see. First of all, isolate your root. Is it isolated? Yes. There is nothing outside the root added or subtracted or multiplied whatsoever. Everything is inside the root. I can't really touch it. Next, what do? Since it is done, next we cancel the root. So how do you cancel a root? Just, if it's a square root, then square both sides. Done, done, done. So now you have 3x minus 2 without any root, without anything. You don't even have to square it. The root will cancel out with the square equals. Here, there is no root to cancel out with the square. What do I have to do? You will take x minus 4 and actually square it on the side yourself. How do we do that? Again, me personally, I would do a minus b squared property, which is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. This is what I would do. Just square the first, square the second, 4 squared is 16, then 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, times x is just negative 8x. This is how I would do it. If you don't like it, no problem, just multiply x minus 4 by x minus 4 with for method, as you like. But I will move on from this step. I think we spent enough time on properties and expanding brackets, binomials, whatsoever. Now, how do we solve this? This is a normal multi-step equation. Kick everything to one side. So after you're done with squaring the root, just solve for the variable. I have lots of variables, so take everything to one side. It's gonna be, again, x squared minus 8x plus 16, and then this one will become positive 2, and this one will become negative 3x equals Nothing. Combine like terms quickly. So you're gonna have x squared. Negative 8x with negative 3x is negative 11x. Positive 16, positive 2 is positive 18. How do you solve this? Put it in your calculator. Mod 5, 3. You have to get two solutions because it's degree 2. First solution is 5, 3. A is 1, B is negative 11, C is 18. First solution is x equals 9. And second solution is x equals 2. Are we done? No. You still have to check extraneous solutions. How do we do that? Please always check extraneous solutions. Mshan Allah. Please, please, please check extraneous solutions. لو سمحتوا. Please. If there is any question and you don't know how to check extraneous solutions, at least write your intention that you wanted to check extraneous solution or anything. Like, just keep that in mind. So how do we check extraneous solution? Just let's check the x equals 9. How do we do that? Take your original equation, which is root of 3x minus 2 equals x minus 4, and substitute both with 9. So you're gonna have root of 3 times 9 minus 2. Is it the same as 9 minus 4? Let's see. This one in your calculator you will get, so evaluate each side separately and see if they are equal, or see if you got an error. If you got an error, extraneous solution. If they are not equal, extraneous solution. 9 minus 4 is 5. Since there is no problem, no error, and they are equal, then that's a real solution. Now let's check the other one. X equals 2. Again, write the equation. 3x minus 2 equals x minus 4. So substitute. It's gonna be root of 3 times 2 minus 2. Is it the same as 2 minus 4? So I don't think so. Root of 6 minus 2 is 2. This side is 2. Now this side, 2 minus 4, it's negative 2. And they are not equal. Therefore, this is an extraneous solution. Rejected, accepted. That's it. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Same idea all over again. Let's do one more question from here. So again, first step is isolate your root. Isolated. Second step, cancel the root by squaring both sides. My root is cancelled. I only have 7x plus 8. And on the other side, I have x squared, which is x squared. Now, third step is solve. How do we solve this? Just move everything to one side and put it in your calculator. It's gonna be x squared minus 7x minus 8 equals 0. Use mod 5, 3. You'll have two solutions. A is 1, B is negative 7, C is negative 8. And I got two solutions. First one when x equals 8. Second one is x equals negative 1. Does it end here? No, you have to check extraneous solutions. So if you plug 8 back in the equation, by the way, I'll do the checking very quickly here. So let's check 8, 7 times 8 plus 8. Is it equals to 8? Yep. This is a real solution. No problem. Let's check the negative one. 7 times negative 1 plus 8. Is it equals to negative 1? Nope. It's equals to 1. So this is an extraneous solution. Please make sure to solve as many as possible. Here, same case. Solve word problems. They want you to isolate L. So not a big deal actually. It's an easy question as well. Rewrite the equation in terms of mass. So you have to keep in mind that this is your variable and act as if all other things are numbers. So it's just gonna be v squared 2gm over r, then multiply by r both sides. Now you have r v squared equals 2gm, then divide by 2g to cancel it. So that's your mass. And then substitute these big numbers whatsoever. Here again, same idea. Now, next idea is, what are the solutions of this equation? What if I have a rational exponent? A very very nice concept here that you can use is, if you have a rational exponent, you're gonna deal with it as if it's same as roots. So step number 1, isolate your rational exponent, numerator over denominator. How do we isolate it? Just make sure the term with the exponent is isolated. Like on this side I only have this term, so done. Some cases you don't have that. For example, here I have number 14, so I need to kick it out. Let's go back again on this question. Second step is, what do we have to do? Use powers on both sides. But which power? So you're gonna use power of the following. You're gonna take a power of denominator over numerator on both sides. How does that work? Now my original exponent is 5 over 2. How do we cancel out this power? To cancel the exponent 5 over 2, you will take another power of 2 over 5. Does that work? Yes, it does. So take another power of 2 over 5 on both sides. 2 times 5 is 10 over 5 times 2 is 10. 10 over 10 is 1, and they cancel out. See? So you're gonna end up with x squared plus 5x plus 5. That's it. Works like magic. Again, the reason behind it is, when you have a double power, but they are opposite, like reciprocals, they actually cancel out, because when you multiply them you will get 5 times 2 is 10 over 2 times 5 is 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. Anything to the power of 1 is like there is no power. Very nice. Equals, put this in your calculator, you're gonna get 1. Now how do you solve this? Take the 1 to the other side, and then you have x squared plus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Use mod 5 3, factorize, solve it. A is 1, B is 5, C is 4, and your solutions are x equals negative 1, x equals negative 4. Are we done? No. Check extraneous solution. So step number 3, solve for x. Step number 4 is check extraneous solutions. How do we check extraneous solutions? Again, we plug it back in the equation. So I'm gonna do it here once. How do we do that? Again, my equation is x squared plus 5x plus 5 to the power of 5 over 2. That's my original equation. So instead of x, substitute negative 1. So negative 1 squared plus 5 times negative 1 plus 5. Power of 5 over 2. Is it equals to 1? So you're going to do that very quickly. Make sure to use brackets with negative numbers. Like, don't put negative 1 squared without a bracket. Please, you're going to get a different answer than expected. Power of 5 over 2. It is 1. So this thing is actually 1. Since it's 1, it's a real solution. Do the same for the negative 4. Instead of the x, substitute negative 4. So just go back to your calculator and edit. Instead of negative 1, put negative 4. You should get 1. And yes, also this one is a real solution. Both of them are not extraneous. Both of them are real solutions. Now let's do this question. How do you solve this? I think I'm gonna do this example and then one more, that's it. Again, step number 1 is isolate your rational exponent. So in this case, this is the rational exponent. It is already isolated. And then step number 2 is cancel. How? By using another power of denominator over numerator. So instead of power of 3 over 2, use another power of 2 over 3. 2 over 3. So now you have this power is cancelled. You only have x plus 18. On the other side, how do you multiply these powers? Just multiply them in your calculator. 3 times 2 over 3. By the way, if you do that, you will get 2. Because 3 cancels out with the 3. Anyways, you're gonna get x minus 2 to the power of 2. Expand this on the side. So x minus 2 squared. If you don't like to, if you don't know how to expand it, you can use FOIL method. Just multiply by itself. Personally, again, I like to expand it using the property. Because خلاص, I know how to do that. So it's gonna be x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals x plus 18. And then how do you solve this? Just take everything to the other side. 18 is gonna be negative 18 and x is gonna be negative x. Combine like terms. X squared, negative 4 with negative 1 is negative 5x, positive 4 with negative 18 is negative 14. Put this in the calculator. Mod 5 3, x a is 1, b is negative 5, c is negative 14, x equals 7, x equals negative 2. So these are the solutions. That's it. And obviously check extraneous solutions. Let's do this question. So again, how do you solve it? First, isolate your exponent. So how do you do that? Make sure to highlight your exponent. Make sure you can see clearly where is my rational expression. This is my rational exponent. This is here. So I have negative 3 and I have 2. Cancel the negative 3 first. So you're gonna have 2 times x squared plus 12x minus 4 to the power of 1 over 2 equals 15 plus 3 is 18. And then cancel the 2. Divide by 2 both sides. You're gonna have x squared plus 12x minus 4 power of 1 over 2 equals 18 divided by 2 is 9. Now how do you cancel the 1 over 2? Just take the same on both sides. Instead of 1 over 2, take 2 over 1. They cancel out. So here you're gonna end up only with x squared plus 12x minus 4 without any power. And 9 to the power of 2 over 1 is basically 9 squared, which is 81. Now take the 81 to this side. You're gonna get x squared minus 12x minus 85 equals 0. Use mod 5 3 and get both answers. Bas. Last idea, which is what if I have what's his error? I think one of them is extraneous. It was something like this. This is how as far as I remember. Just square both sides. You're gonna have 3x plus 18 equals x squared. Take everything to one side. I think you will get negative 3 and 6. Yes, but one of them will be extraneous. Anyways, what if we have double roots? So in this case, how do we solve equation with 2 roots? Everything we have been doing, we have always one root to isolate. So here, how do we do that? First step is isolate one of the roots. The roots. So in this case, personally, what I like to do is I would prefer to isolate the one with more terms or the one with addition, because I feel like it's more complicated to work with. So in this case, I will prefer to isolate this root and just take this one to the other side. This is another root, miss. Why don't you isolate it? Because you can't isolate both. where am I gonna isolate both? خلاص, isolate one of them. I chose this one. By the way, it depends on you. عادي, both ways will work. Even if you isolate this one, not this, doesn't matter. Take this to the other side. It's gonna be root 3x minus 2. And then step number 2. What are you gonna do? Cancel your isolated root. Not any root. The root you did isolated, cancel it. How do you do that? Using powers. Since it's a square root, I'm gonna square both sides fully. And don't square only this one. Square the right side and square the left side. This side, خلاص, the root will get cancelled. X plus 4, easy. Now this side, how do we do that? I would say, please, take it on the side and work with it. Just take it on the side. Don't do everything all together. So you're gonna have to simplify this. 3x minus 2 squared. How do we simplify it? يعني صراحة use this property. A minus b squared equals first term squared minus 2 first second plus second squared. So let's do the same. First term, square it. Then second term, square it. Negative 2 squared is 4. Then what do we do? Just this times that. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 times that. Why didn't you, miss, multiply the negative 4 with the 3? Because you can't touch what's inside the root. Don't touch what's inside. Please don't write it like this. Or I don't know what. Or maybe like this. Don't, please. طب why, miss, did you multiply these? Because they are numbers. Nothing in the root. عادي. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. But you can't multiply negative 4 with 3x. خلاص, leave it as it is. I know it's ugly, but leave it. Deal with it. Now what can we do? Can we simplify even more? Yes, guess what? Here you have square of a root. They cancel out. See, alhamdulillah, الحياة شوي حلوة. So you're gonna have 3x and then negative 4 root 3x and then plus 4. Can we combine anything? No, simply because this is a number, this is a variable, and this is a variable under a root that you cannot combine it with the variable, and you can't combine its number with the number. It's just a different type of variable. So leave this term, this expression, this whole thing, answer as it is. Just write it here, please don't touch it. You took it on the side just to expand. No need to simplify it fully and just create new math. No need to see any creative ideas. We don't want that. Now guess what? You have done the first steps for cancelling one root. Now we need to do the same. Repeat. Do the same for second root. So as you can see, we still have a small teeny tiny root here. We need to isolate it. How do we do that? Yeah, first of all, get rid of the addition subtraction, like the terms that are far away from the root. The 4, I can take it here. It's gonna be negative 4. The 3x, it's positive. I'm gonna take it to the other side. It's gonna be negative 3x. This was originally positive. And now simplify. Keep in mind to be aware of your steps. Why didn't you mistake negative 4 to the other side? Because it's not an addition of 4. It's a negative 4 multiplied with the root. First you take addition and subtraction, like the terms that are far away from the root. Anyways, now what do? Combine like terms. Negative 3x with positive 1x is negative 2x. Negative 4 with positive 4, they cancel out. It's 0. Why did I do that? Just write it next to it. Negative 2x. Now what do? Cancel out the negative 4. Now you can remove the negative 4. How do we do that? By adding 4? No. It's a multiplication with negative 4. So you need to divide by the same term. Now, what do we have? Root of 3x equals, just simplify this. Negative 2 divided by negative 4, it's gonna be 0.5. Put only the numbers in the calculator, by the way. X. Now, after you did isolate your root, alhamdulillah, how do we do that? Square both sides to cancel out the root. Guess what? We have been just isolating the root. Cancel out the root. Why did I use the square? Because it's a square root. So now you have only 3x. Alhamdulillah, no more roots. Roots. How do we square this? Just square the 0.5 and square the x. Square both, by the way. So you have to do 0.5 squared. I think it's 0.25. And x squared is just x squared. 0.25 x squared. And then what do? We're not done yet. You still have to, once you are done with the previous two steps, which is what we did, cancelled all roots. Step number 4 is solve for x. So I have this thing. Take everything to one side. So it's gonna be 0.25 x squared minus 3x equals 0. A, B, and C is 0. In your calculator, mod 5, A is 0.25, B is negative 3, and C is 0. Done. So I have two solutions. Finally, x equals 12, x equals 0. Am I done? Again, nope. You still have to check extraneous solutions. How do we do that? So you go and plug, instead of x, put 12 and c. Are they gonna equal to negative 2? So go to your calculator and do root of 12 plus 4 outside minus another root of 3 times 12. Is it 2? Negative 2? Yes. So this is a real solution. Check the 0. So instead of 12, put 0. It should give me also negative 2. Okay, miss, give me negative 2. It gave me 2 instead of negative 2. miss عادي miss كلها negative مش محرزة. لا يا حبيبتي محرزة. That's extraneous solution whatsoever. Rejected. شكرا. يعطيكم العافية. I'm done. That's it. That's it for me. Yeah, I don't think I'm done yet. I will be solving the same exact example, but in a slightly different way. I think it's a bit easier, but it just needs a little bit more skills, but it's not that hard. It's easy when you know it. It's just gonna make your life easier, inshallah. And it's actually useful when you have double roots and both of them are a bit more like they have terms, maybe addition, subtraction, multiplication, whatsoever. It's just useful and it works smoother. So let's see, I'll just redo the same exact example using this small different method. It's just everything is going to be the same, and only when we reach this point we're not going to divide by 4. We're going to do something else. So let's see again. So when you have double root, how can you solve it? Isolate the root you believe is just the most, like the longest root. I think this one I can isolate. So I'll take this root on this side, positive root of 3x. Now you have root of x plus 4 alone equals to, rearrange these, write them as, like, since it's one negative, one positive, write the positive first. Try your best always to write the positive term first, and then minus 2 so that when you use the property, you can use it correctly. So keep that in mind, please. And now what do? We need to square both sides. Again, when you square two terms, these are two terms. It's not one term. When you square two terms, whether they're addition or subtraction, in this case it's subtraction, you need to use the property, which is square the first one minus 2 times first times second plus second one squared. So make sure you know both properties, whether the addition one or the subtraction one. This lesson requires properties of polynomials or like such properties. You just need to know these properties. So how do we square this one? So just take the thing on the side and work on squaring using the property. So just keep in mind, this is the first term, this is the second term without the sign. So what does the property say? We need to take the first one squared, so 3x under the root squared minus 2 times first times second, which is root of 3x times second, which is only 2, the negative is already outside, plus 2 squared. And it's plus because if whether you square it as negative or positive, it just does not matter. Now what do? Just simplify. The square will cancel the root, you will only have 3x. Then minus 2 times 2 is 4, root 3x. You can't really multiply the 4 with the 3, just leave it as it is. And this whole term is together. It's not 4 and 3x, no, it's just a whole block of things. Like this is a term, this is another term. So yes, and when we simplify, we combine like terms. So the 4 cannot be combined with 3x because they are unlike. One of them does have a variable, one of them does not. The 4 cannot be combined with negative 4 because negative 4 is already with a variable under a root, but still it's a variable. So it's a whole term that they're not like terms at all. So at this point, you can't simplify at all. But it's always good to look if you can simplify. So I'll take this here and write it down. I have 3x minus 4 root 3x minus, no, plus 4 equals only x plus 4. And now just take everything except the root. So you need to isolate your root and make sure it's a negative sign with it. So take everything to the other side. The 3x will become negative 3x. Bye-bye. The 4 will become negative 4. Bye-bye as well. Now what do you have? 1x minus 3x, that's negative 2x. And these together are 0. Equals negative 4 root of 3x. Previously, I divided by 4 here. There is another method. Here, it's not that useful, but it's good to know the other method because later on you might have here many terms. And when you divide, maybe you will forget to divide by the other terms, or you will get decimals, and it's just a lot. So the other method is, it's okay, just this is a term. I can just square this term to cancel the root, and it will be cancelled. Why? Because when I square this one, I will just keep in mind there's one more nice property. When you have a term all together, like something times something, in this case negative 4 times the root, and you want to square it, just distribute the square. It's going to be the first one squared times the second one squared, and that's the answer. So let's do the same here. So I have negative 4 root of 3x squared. How do you square it? Distribute the square. You have to distribute it because like they're separate, they're like multiplied. And we distribute the square here. We don't use the property because they're not subtracted. These are not subtracted, they are multiplied. But here they were subtracted. You can see the difference, right? Yeah, back again. So I have a negative 4 alone squared times root of 3x alone squared. And when you square outside, that's my bad. It's gonna be outside, just if there's a negative to get cancelled in the calculator. It's gonna be 16, and the root will get cancelled. See? Times 3x. You still have to multiply the 16 by 3, and that's gonna be 48 x equals, 48 x only. See, this is how I do it. And then here again, obviously square the negative 2. It's gonna be 4 square the x. See, it's the same thing, we're just squaring, wallah, x squared. And now put everything on one side and just modify 3. So take this here, it's gonna be 4x squared minus 48x equals 0, and then mod 5 3. The answer will be x equals, if you check it, you're gonna get this exact same answer as previously. It should be the same, although they are somehow different numbers, but they do have the same solution. Yeah, it's so fun. 4 negative 48, and the c, I don't have a c, so it's 0, and then the solution is 12 and 0. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. See, I got the exact same solutions. Obviously you have to check extraneous solutions. How do we check extraneous solution? Just take your calculator and plug here 12, and put this whole term in the calculator. If you got negative 2, it's real. If you got it as something else, maybe 2 or error, it's extraneous, and so on. And if you check, you're gonna get the exact same thing, which is first one is real, second one is extraneous. So eventually I have only one real solution, and this one is rejected, extraneous. So therefore I know algebraically I have 2 solutions, but obviously I have only one real accepted solution. Let's do the exact same thing here. Bismillah. So again, I have 2 roots that are a bit longer than before. I will start by isolating one of the roots. I'll just start with this one. I will isolate this one. So take this one on the side. It's gonna be positive root of x minus 5. Now you only have what? Root of 6 plus x equals 2 plus root of x minus 5. And now, again, to cancel the root, you have to square both sides. Now, again, if you want to square this one, just take it on the side and square it. Do it on the side, please. So you will be given enough space to do all of that. Don't worry about it. So again, since there's an addition, that's a plus b property, which is you need to memorize both properties. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. What I like to do is just leave spaces and just fill them up. This is gonna be first one squared plus 2 times first times second plus second one squared. First one is 2, then both of them, then second one alone. This is how I like to do it. So 2 squared is 4, then multiply only the numbers that are not under the root. 2 times 2 is 4 root of x minus 5. As you can see, this whole thing is a term. You can't add the 4 and 4. Please don't do such mistakes. Please keep in mind and change your mentality. Accept that this is a term. I beg you, please. So now what do we have here? Cancel the root. It's gonna be only x plus x minus 5. Now, as see here I can add I can combine the 4 and negative 5. I can, because the negative 5 is separated by itself. There is no variable, there is no root with it. I can do that. So 4 and negative 5 together, they are negative 1 plus, I will put the x with it, plus 4 root of x minus 5. See? Very nice. I can't do the 1 and 4. I can't do the x and the x. Please don't do that. لو سمحتوا. This is so inappropriate. Please don't do that. This is the last thing you want to do. So it's going to be negative 1 plus x. This is called تخبيص. Plus 4 root of x minus 5. equals, and I don't have a root here, which is 6 plus x. Now, Bismillah, what is this? Again, look at your root term, all of it. This whole thing is a root. Isolate it. We need to isolate the root again with the 4. So the 4 is part of the term, please. So what do? We need to take the 1 here. It's gonna be positive 1. Bye-bye. Take the x here. It's gonna be negative x. Oh, very nice. The x got cancelled. Don't be scared. It's okay. We still have an x here. The problem will be solved. We have here 7 equals... Sorry. So 7 equals 4 root of x minus 5. Now, you get to divide by 4 if you want, but I will use the other method. It's just easier, صراحة. Square both sides. As it is. This is one term. How do we square 4 root x minus 5? How do you square this? Just square the 4 and square the root. So the 4 squared times the root squared. 4 squared is 16. Root squared will get cancelled basically. So keep a bracket because you still have to multiply. 16 times x minus 5 distribute is going to be 16x. And then 16 times negative 5, which is negative 80. So this whole thing is 16x minus 80 equals 7 squared is 49. Now just solve. This is one-step equation. No need to use a calculator. Just take the variable here, the 80 here, positive 80, and that's 129 equals 16x, and then x equals, just divide by 16. That's a decimal number of 8.062925. 8.0625. Again, you have to check extraneous solution by plugging this number instead of every single x here. 8.0625, 8.0625. Solve, you should get 2. If you did not get 2 or you got an error, that's extraneous solution. I'll do it quickly. 6 plus 8.0625, and then minus outside, then another root. 8.0625 minus 5, I should get 2, and I got 2. Therefore, it's a real solution. That's it, real. So I do have a solution for this question. That's it. I will do one more question. I feel like we can go with one more question. I'm gonna take a question that is sort of tricky. So that inshallah double root will be something that is easy for you all. Let's do the first one or the second one. I will do the second one. Yeah, Bismillah. So let's see. Again, you need to isolate the roots. Personally, I can tell this root looks a bit heavier than the other one. So I'll take this one to the other side and isolate this root. It's gonna be negative root of x plus 2. So now you have only root of 3x plus 4 equals 2 minus root of x plus 2. And now you still have to square both sides. Bye-bye. Square both sides. Again, I have two terms. To square a binomial, you need to use a minus b because subtraction. Squared property, which is first term squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So in this case, first term squared minus 2 times first times second plus second squared. So first one is 2 times first times second, then second one squared. That's easy. 2 squared is 4. 2 times 2 is also 4 with the root. You can't really multiply the 4 with what's under the root. You can't touch under the root. Plus, the root get cancelled. X plus 2. See, these I can combine them, no problem. But the 4, I can't do that with the other numbers because it's not a number 4 only, it's a 4 root. So these together are gonna be 6, and then I put the x next to it, minus 4 root of x plus 2. See, that's the answer. So I'll write it here. So 6 plus x minus 4 root of x plus 2 equals, here the root got cancelled, so it's only 3x plus 4. This whole thing should be green, but يلا مو مشكلة. So anyways, so move the 6 to the other side, isolate the root. Again, where is the root? In the test, make sure you do know which term is the full term of the root. This whole term is the root term. So I need to isolate it. Take the 6 here, it's gonna be negative 6. Take the x here, it's gonna be negative x. So 3x minus 1x, that's 2x. 4 minus 6 is negative 2 equals, ما شاء الله أنا قاعدة بغير ألوانها كيفي, negative 4 root of x plus 2. And then what do? We need to square both sides. So this one to cancel the root. Again, I want to say something. You can divide by 4 if you want, but if you will do dividing by 4, just make sure to divide each term by 4 and you will get decimals, I think 0.5, but still يعني أنا personally I don't like to work with decimals. So I'll just do this one. It's easier for me, صراحة. Square both sides. So, okay. Square both sides. So to square them, you have to square the 4 alone and square the root alone. So again, 4 squared and root of x plus 2 squared. That's gonna be 16 times x plus 2. Why is that? Because 4 squared is 16. The root gets cancelled, so it's only x plus 2. Then distribute. It's gonna be 16x plus 32. So that's the answer. Now this one you have to use binomial theorem, like a binomial identity, which is a squared. This is the subtraction. You have to use the same identity. First term squared minus 2 times first times second plus second one squared. Why I can't distribute simply like this one? Because here I have 2 terms subtracted from each other. But here I have only one term and the first one is negative. Okay, because there's a multiplication between them. So we still call them a term. But these, there's a subtraction between them. So a subtraction and addition, they separate terms. Anyways, first one squared. 2 times first times second. I believe dividing by 4 would be easier here. But still, I'm teaching you both methods. You get to choose. As long as you get the answer correctly, I don't mind. So how do we do this one? Square the 2, square the x. It's going to be 4x squared. Then 2 times 2 times 2, that's 8x. 2 squared, it's 4. Put the answer down. So 4x squared minus 8x plus 4. The workout alone is a question. MashaAllah. Now move everything to one side. So take this one to this side. It's going to be negative 16x. Take this one to this side. It's going to be negative 32. And now you will end up with 4x squared. These together are negative 24x. And these together, 32 and 4. The 32 is negative. They're negative 28. Put them in the calculator. Mod 5-3, the A is 4, the B is negative 24, and the C is negative 28. If you divide it by 4, you will not get the same as A, B, C as I got, but still you're supposed to get the same answer. The first solution is x equals 4, x equals 7. If you got decimals and you took few decimals, maybe you will get 6 point something, but 7 is the correct one. And the other one is x equals negative 1. And then just go back, substitute both in the equation. So let's try to substitute the 7 to check extraneous solution. So put the 7 everywhere instead of the x and just put that whole thing in the calculator. So root of 7 plus 2 outside and addition of another root of 3 times 7, 21, 24, 21 plus 4. That's supposed to be 2. I got 8. What? Seriously? This is the extraneous solution. هذا أكبر extraneous solution شفته بحياتي. Audacity إنه يطلع 8. Negative 1. It's okay. Negative 1. Oh, I got it too. So this one is extraneous solution بقوة. This one is a real solution because I did get a 2. هذا real. So basically I only have one solution, which is x equals negative 1. But that's it. That's it. Now I'm done. Where is it?